Just a year ago, I used to study for like 3 hours a day. I would never stop studying and I would still get upon average grades. In this video, I'm going to give you a lot of study techniques and ways to make sure you're not studying 3 hours a day like I was. You don't have to do what I do, which was try and fail, because I'm going to give you straight away the method that works for me. And I'm going to give you multiple of them, because if one doesn't work, there must be another one out there that works for you. I'll give you a little rundown of the methods we're going to go over. We've got the Promoto timer, the blurt method, teaching it method, wrong question banking, AI tool. Before we get into the video, I'm going to talk to you about the real cost of studying wrong. So here's the part that people don't talk to you about. At a point in time when I was studying like hours straight, 3 hours straight, no system at all, just studying. It wasn't just that I was some exhausted person. My nails were getting so brittle, they would chip off. My hair was falling out constantly. My hair was so thin and so drabby. My skin was breaking out constantly everywhere, pimples, anything, everything. And what nobody told me is that that's not just a coincidence, your body being annoying. It's a real sign. Your body was telling you something real, or my body was telling me that something was wrong. What I was doing wasn't sustainable. It probably not lead me down a good track. But this video isn't just about getting better grades or studying better with these techniques. It's about not destroying yourself in the process like I almost did. I went through a lot of bad work through that time, and I don't want people to go through that. I want you guys to know how to study, what the study techniques are, so you don't have to go through all that and ace your classes still. Yes, I know we want to get to the techniques, but you also have to understand this stuff before, just so you understand where I'm coming from and why I'm telling you guys this stuff. Okay, so this is the reasoning behind why more hours of studying does not equal a better grade. Here's the problem with studying for a lot of time. It's not that you're actually understanding or reading through the material. It's just that you're near it. Rereading a page, scrolling through your notebooks, rereading assignments, anything doesn't actually have your brain doing the work, redoing the math, like all that kind of stuff. Like, honestly, none of that stuff makes your brain actually retrieve what you have actually learned to go into the forefront of your brain and think about that. And the only way to actually study, to actually learn your material, is for your brain to retrieve it, because that's the only way it will actually stick. So every method I'm about to show you does one of two things. One, it forces your brain to retrieve what you're studying. And two, it cuts down the amount of time you are doing work. Retrieval is the only way you're going to make any of the material you learn stick. Technique, Promoto timer. Promoto, Promoto, Pomodoro timer. And so the standard version of that is 25 minutes of working, focused work, and 5 minutes of break time. And you just keep repeating that. But what I like to say is you don't just have to do the 25-minute and 5 minute on. You don't have to default to that one size fits all, because not everybody is someone who will only focus for that short amount of time. Everybody is kind of different. So I like to say that a Promoto timer is not a one size fits all. So here is how I actually adjust it depending on what I am doing. So this is how I use the different variations of a Promoto to help me kind of study and keep it right. Okay, so first for like regular homework, standard review, just like any simple classwork and that kind of stuff, I like to do a 25-minute on working focus method and then 5-minute break method. I find that to work really well because homework shouldn't take that long. And then if it's like some really, really hard, like FRQ problem set, or you're writing an essay or something, I highly recommend doing like a 50-minute work amount focus time and a 10-minute break time, because it's kind of annoying when you get into the flow of writing or something, or you're in the middle of a problem and your 25 minutes just got off and now you want to go take your 5-minute break. And then this one, if I'm avoiding some sort of subject or I do not want to do this matter at all, like at all, I will do a 15-minute focus work period and a 5-minute break. Yes, I'm still keeping the 5-minute break because, as I said, I don't really want to do this subject. So it's probably better to keep a higher reward system for it. It kind of just helps to build momentum to get you started. And then once I'm actually locked in, I'm gonna like once I've started and locked into my homework or locked into my studying, I'm gonna go on forever. So for that one, I'll usually switch to a 90-minute block period of studying and then a like 20 to 25-minute break. So all of these concepts help to follow our brain's natural focus cycle. instead of just going against it, which is what humans regularly do, especially in school because we have lots of stress and lots of work and we're all trying to get into college. So, whatever method you actually use, you can even tweak it to 17 minutes or whatever. But these are the things that you always need to have so that it is a Pomodoro timer and that it helps you out. First is you need a real break. It cannot just be a 1 minute break. I would say minimum 5 minute break is what you should do. Another thing is when you're in your focus period, make sure to put your phone away, put it on the charger, put it in another room, maybe film yourself studying. Like that keeps your phone away from you. I love doing that. I just make reels out of filming myself study because I probably should not be on my phone when I'm studying because it's your focus period. And you've probably heard of the promoter timer because it's a very popular concept, but you probably haven't heard on why it works. So I'm also going to tell you that. So your brain can only hold real high quality focus for a short amount of time before it like the attention just drops. And because of that, the promoter works because it matches our natural workflow instead of just ignoring it like we would regularly do, like study 3 hours a day. It also kind of removes the like, oh, I have to study for like 3 hours dread. Instead, it's like, oh, well, I study for 25 minutes and then at the end, I get a 5 minute break, which is also why it's kind of like a reward method because study focus for 25 minutes and then you'll get a break. John V, where am I supposed to get a promoted timer from? Am I supposed to like buy one or something? Well, no, you do not have to buy one because I took the liberty of making you guys a completely free promoted timer site on Notion. So I'm going to give you a little walk through it and show you what it is. So first off, you can get the link in my description. And here it starts off with how to use the timer, what kind of presets you should use, so what I've gone over in the video. And then here's the actual timer, and I'm going to show you a little thing on how to use it. So it's right now automatically set to 25 minutes, but if you go over to settings, there you can change your timers, your breaks, your long breaks, and those kinds of things in there. And this is all free, completely free, and it will be in the link in my description. Next, we have method 2, the blurt method. So for this method, there's two different kinds of ways you can go about it. The way I prefer to do is you're going to read through all your notes and then you're going to set it aside and you're just going to take a sheet of paper and you're going to write down every single thing you remember and you're not going to be able to look back on that. And then once you finish reading through, like writing down everything you can remember, you're going to go back in and you're going to use a different color. So I like to use black when I'm doing my blurt part, just simply writing down, and then I'll use a red or a blue or some sort of color, and I'll go back and I'll read through my actual notes and I'll fill in the gaps in areas. So that's the personally way I like to do it. But the second way you can also do it is just doing it based off of pure memory. You're not going to use your notes at all. So I'm going to give you a example of how I do this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to literally read through everything, not do anything else, not take any notes, simply read through it and try to explain it to myself in my head kind of. Okay, now that I have read through that part of my notes, and you can also do this instead of like if you have multiple pages of notes, you can do this in a way where you only read maybe like one section of notes and then do it because it's really hard to remember like 3, 4, 5 pages of notes. So next, you're gonna get out another piece of paper, and you're not gonna make this look pretty or anything. And then this is optional, of course. You can set a timer for 5 minutes to just write down what you want. Personally, I don't like a time constraint because I feel like I don't get enough time to think exactly. Okay, now that once you have finished writing down everything you write, you're gonna go back to your notes and you're gonna switch colors. So I was using black here, so now I'm gonna use red. And you're gonna go back to your notes, and all you're gonna do is like fill in the gaps of what you missed. And also, once you figure out that gap, another thing you can do instead of just reading your notes is going back through it and maybe looking into more information about that part because that's probably the most part that you don't remember. Next is method 3. Teach it out loud. Have you ever wondered why your teachers are so good at their subject, so smart at it? They know how to do it so well. Well, that's probably because the amount of times they've taught it over and over again. Because what teaching does, it reinforces it in our brain. So teachers, them teaching it a million times over, are reinforcing it in their brain, which is why they're so good at it. Another example of this is SAT tutors. Most SAT tutors will take the SAT every year and they get a 1600 on it every time because of the amount of times they've studied, taken it, taught it. So basically, what you're going to do is you're literally just going to talk out loud like there is someone next to you. You can even talk to your stuffed animals if you like. So I'm going to give you an example of this. Say I'm talking about a position to time graph and I'm saying, well, if there is a straight line in the position to time graph, then you are not accelerating. Instead, you have a constant slope. But if you have a curved line, um, and that's where, say you forget that the curved line, that's probably what you want to go back and review. So this helps you to look at to review. Next is my favorite strategy for studying for the SAT or a AP class, but it's not well known and it doesn't go by a name or something. But I kind of just call it question banking. But basically, what it is, whenever you're going to like practice questions, MCQs, SAT question banks, those kinds of things, when you get a question wrong, what you do is you basically just screenshot that question and you're gonna paste it into a Google Doc or a Word document or something. And then you're going to go to the comment button. You're going to comment how you should solve it, what the answer is, that kind of stuff. And over time, you're going to build up a large bank of a bunch of questions you got wrong. And you can go back and review it. You can make mark some as hard, like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you my AP Precalc one. Okay, guys. So here we are. This is my AP Precalc doc. Is I have all of these MCQ questions that I've kind of just copy and pasted off of my College Board, my MCQs, my progress checks, just etc., all those things. And I also, which I haven't yet, but I need to put my homework in, the homework problems I got wrong. So basically what I do here is I got this question wrong. And what I did was I put in the doc and then on the side I pressed and I made a comment. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to press on the image that you copy and pasted or you snapshot it in. And so what I do is I press add comment and then here a little comment thing will pop up to the side and you can just write whatever comment you want to write about it. I like to write an explanation of how I got the answer, what the answer is, what maybe mistake I made, those kinds of things, and then you just press the comment button and now it is right here and it is all commented. So that's how I like to use that method. And then what I like to do is maybe like a day before the test, or I'm just gonna go through the whole bank and just redo all the questions. And then method 6 is using Notebook LM, which I will be making another video. And once I make it, I'll put it right here, which it'll be about how to use AI to help you study in a productive, helpful way and not a bad way, but a way where it can actually be your teacher, give you questions, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to really explain it in depth because I'm going to make a whole nother video about it. But if you want to see that video, you can go here. And this is a very helpful, very important topic. And it's very important to learn about because AI is becoming increasingly more abundant in our world. And it's important that you learn how to do it in a safe way and a correct way. So using it to help you study is an amazing tool. It can help you with many things and it can also save you time in the end. So everything I've taught you in this video, the Promoto timer, the blurt method, the AI use, the wrong question banking, all of that's not something that requires hours of each of your days. It's something that you can do quickly and can help you maximize your time and maximize what you get out of your time. And also, if you want the exact Promoto template, which is completely free, you can get it in my link in description. I want to talk to you guys about another video I made, and this is a video what to do if you failed your test. So this may be something after something bad test, and it can help you to with anxiety, how to study better, what to do, what to use, all of that kind of stuff. So I recommend also watching it, and I'll put it right here. And then remember my next video, I'll be making it about how to use AI for beneficent as a student, and that can help you learn better in a good way because AI is becoming more abundant and we all need to learn how to use it in a right good way that can also help us achieve our goals. So lastly, subscribe if you guys found this video helpful. I love making videos about how to help students in school as I'm also a student and I've gone through a lot of hard work to figure all this out, and I feel like it would have been so much easier if I could have all had this information right at my hands. So which is why I'm making all of these free videos for you guys to watch. So if you guys could, you can subscribe, like, all of those things. Everything doing that is completely free.